from beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. This taken in at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Well, they told us that he was just going to be a bear to defend. And usually tight ends are, Charles, but he's no exception to that rule. His second catch of the opening possession, and it gets him a first down.
Yeah, and they certainly saw something on his earlier reception. He went back and reported what he found. And one of the things about him, he's like a wide receiver to me, Brandon. He has a great sense of space and understanding where defenders are.
Yeah, we talk all the time, Charles, and it kind of gets cliche about the hands that he has, but really it's the truth. For a tight end, some of the best hands in the game. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc. A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got it. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. Algier, he tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Algier again, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tyler Algier taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Miami set to take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, here's White. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st and 10, White. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's Gaskin. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now White. He is going to find Hill here. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
1st and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Hunt is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Here's White. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Freddie Swain was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. 2nd down, Gaskin. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Gaskin again on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. White. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. Two big plays in succession, and the Dolphins on the move.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Running on first down with Gaskin. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. White looks to throw. This ball is caught by Shaheen. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 19. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Hunt will try going up the middle. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kareem Hunt punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Kick it away after the touchdown. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He sets to fire deep. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw again. That's complete to Robinson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it'll give the Falcons a first down. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Hadn't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching.
Touchdown! Jonnu Smith, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are able to move back in front. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll drop to throw. Being chased out, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Desmond Ridder It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Falcons have yet again retaken the lead. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now White. That one complete to Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. The play fake, now White. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. After the sack on first down, White able to find Shaheen here. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League. And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Buying time to his left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown.
Okay, break. I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
On first down, it's White, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw, White. And his throw here's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Gaskin. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jake Bailey now. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Hitting London coming across the field. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's got room. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. White. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll find his man. That's Freddie Swain. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now White with a 1st down throw. Swings this out for Hunt. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Up the middle, Gaskin. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They run for it with Hunt. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Off play action, here's White. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, White. He'll get that one to Carter complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Out of the gun, it's White. And it's caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Sanders' kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
After the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. White. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun. White looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Looking to throw. White. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
White's throw is caught here by Anderson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Gaskin is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
On 2nd and goal, White, touchdown Dolphins. Eric Silver from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now White lost the football, and the Falcons grab it.
It's funny to me because we actually keep a football in the booth with us during games, and I notice you cradling the football. You got it tucked pretty tight with the points of pressure here, and that didn't occur on that play, did it?
Now, you saying I wouldn't have fumbled if I was down there?
You would not have fumbled. You got that thing locked in tight.
I also have really large biceps. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And here now come the Falcons. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the 3rd quarter.
searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Here we go. 45. Wide. Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's complete. It's Miller. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Ready.
They'll set up to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Now, you've been around me a long time now. You know on 2nd and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on 3rd. Smith catches left side. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's forced out left. And a loose football. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The fumble on first down now. Here's 2nd down. Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On the set.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got Smith here. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ready up.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Ready, go.
He'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Desmond Ridder with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And out come the Dolphins now. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. They'll start here with Gaskin, and he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. White able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Gaskin will try it up the middle. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Gaskin once more. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 3rd down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. White. And he completes it to Berrios. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time, they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And Patterson not going to return this. It'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 25-yard line.
Ready, go.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
2nd and 6. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Patterson. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Ready. 10 black. Ready, go.
Back to throw here. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about taking care of the football, but sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. How about him going up top on a 50-50 ball and taking it away for a big play?
He's back to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Desmond Ritter on target to Drake London. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. In a tie game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Dolphins now down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. White throwing after the interception. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in what you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunt. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Second and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. He'll look to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down one. That extra point is not a gimme.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, you know, sitting up here in the booth,
take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heels a bit.
See if they do that. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ready, go.
He'll drop to throw. Able to find Patterson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here we go. This to avoid overtime. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
On the double.
Second and 2. Slant route to Miller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. From the 45 on 2nd down. White, his throw incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open book beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Here's Gaskin. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 70 yards rushing here for Gaskin, and that last run gets him a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Let's go defense. And here we go.
On first down, back to Gaskin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Alexander Johnson finding his way behind the line and quickly to the football.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Another run with Gaskin. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
White. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now White throwing on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with a football. So a win here for the Falcons, and the man leading the charge was their quarterback, Charles.